Good morning. Welcome to CurrencyChange Daily Markets Update on Thursday, 22nd of August 2013. In the USA, FOMC minutes released last night were broadly in line with expectations and maintained markets' expectation of a probable September tapering. US jobless rate has declined considerable since QE3 began. Other measures showed more modest labour market gains, several participants willing to lower 6.5% employment threshold for interest rate if easier policy needed. Sales of previously owned US homes climbed more than forecast in July to the fastest pace since November 2009 as more buyers entered the market before further increases in mortgage rates. Purchases of previously owned houses advanced 6.5% to a 5.39 million annual rate last month versus 5.15 expected. Prices increased 13.7% from a year earlier, the most since October 2005. In Europe, Euro area GDP grew by 0.3% quarter-on-quarter in Q2, ending 6 consecutive quarters of declining output, according to data released last week. The fact that the recovery was largely driven by strong pickups in activity from France and Germany is likely to increase the focus on today's PMI releases for August for these countries, as well as the Euro area aggregate as a guide to whether this momentum is set to continue into Q3. European officials are laying the political groundwork for fresh Greek aid as Chancellor Angela Merkel, who has led bailout-weary Germany throughout the region's debt crisis, battles to win a third term in office. German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble said yesterday for the first time that there will have to be a programme for Greece, once again referring to previous Euro area pledges to provide further measures and assistance to ease the country's debt burden. European Union Economic and Monetary Affairs Commissioner Olli Rehn said today that possible continuation of Greece's bailout programme and its financing will be assessed after a review next month by the so-called Troika that oversees Euro area bailouts. European Central Bank Executive Board member Jörg Asmussen is in Athens to gauge the government's progress on economic reforms. In the UK, Britain posted its first July budget deficit since 2010 as an increase in government spending outstripped tax revenue. Net borrowing, excluding temporary support for banks, was £488 million, compared with a surplus of £823 million a year earlier. The Office for National Statistics said in London today, including coupon cash received from the Bank of England on its holdings of gilts, the deficit was £62 million. Underlying tax receipts rose 3.4%, lagging behind a 3.7% increase in spending. Britain's recovery has gathered momentum in recent months, which will help Chancellor of the Exchequer George Osborne meet his budget targets as he tries to reduce the deficit. While Barclays described the July data as disappointing, it said the government may take some comfort from the increase in receipts and is broadly on track to meet its full-year goal. With a pinch of luck and a dash of growth, said the UK, fiscal positions should start to look a bit better over the next few quarters, said Rob Wood, an economist at Berenberg Bank in London. In Asia, China's HSBC manufacturing PMI rises to a 4-month high of 50.1. The live exchange rates now for the dollar is 1.5585, for the euro 1.1690, for the Aussie dollar 1.7336, for the New Zealand dollar 1.9873. GBP exhibited strength despite positive US existing home sales data 3-year high and settle in the release of the minutes. As the FOMC minutes were released, the pound moved from levels near 1.5695 to 1.5665 before reversing as further comments relating to adjustments to taper criteria, particularly as related to the 6.5% employment threshold, were focused on. GBP Euro moved 10 pips and then came back to the same level during FOMC minutes release. GBP continues to maintain an advantage over the Euro as UK expectations remain upbeat, while the EZ periphery is mired in bailouts at low growth. Economic agenda UK time at 9 o'clock Euro manufacturing PMI August expected at 50.6. At 9 o'clock, Euro Services PMI August expected at 50.2, 130 initial jobless claims estimated 322, so 320 last week, and 2 o'clock US PMI August, and at 2 o'clock US housing prices for July. If you require any further information, please visit CurrencyChange.com or contact us on 020 373 2686. Have a nice day.